The idea is to set up the stage for the next speakers and see how is the market in Romania from the point of view of investors. We would like to evaluate past, present, and future for the investment scene in Romania. I'm glad to welcome on the stage brands, investors, specialists in distribution. So I will start with brands that are represented today. I will invite Vasilis Stemelidis, the Regional Director, South and Eastern Europe of Wyndham Hotels and Resorts. Frank Royal, VP Development Accor Premium Mid-Scale and Economy Eastern Europe. Frank, thank you. We have Gilles Granger, Senior Vice President Business Development EMEA from DH. Please. And last but not least, Răzvan Raț, the Vice President from Transylvania Investments. Please. Gentlemen. Doi. Can you check your mics? Okay, just a short housekeeping. We have just 50 minutes for these topics, which are, let's say, we want to create the basis for the investors to know what to invest and when to invest. I would like to structure this panel from the point of view of the investors. We are used with the brands operations to present themselves, so let's stick to the investors this time. And I will start with a little bit of past, as I said. Let's have an overview of the post-COVID era, which... Yes?
May I ask you to invite another gentleman on stage?
Of course.
It's representing Hyatt, the new brand coming in Russia. Sean, please, welcome.
Oh, sure. Sorry, my bad. Thank you, Ray. You are the last but not the least.
Yes, correct.
Finally. Thank you, Charles. Sorry. So, we like to see this post-COVID rebound, which was, let's say, a V-shaped rebound from the point of view of traveling, tourism, both business and leisure, but it was not yet a rebound from the investment point of view. And I'm speaking here about the developers, which they had hard times to secure financing with high costs for construction. And we like to see where we were and where we are today. I will start with Vasilis, with his experience in the southeastern countries. How you perceived the investment in the post-COVID era?
Yeah, first of all, good morning. And I'm really happy to be among esteemed industry colleagues here. And thank you very much to the organizers for inviting me into this prestigious event. So definitely, we have seen some sort of a delay into the whole investment post the COVID area. I think that the curve now is changing, and we see more and more, again depending on the destinations, but we see more and more interest, especially on the hospitality front. And obviously this has to do with the fact that the travel and leisure industry has rebounded quite aggressively post-COVID. Again, we are still challenged with reopening markets like China, that they have been quite instrumental into the whole development of the hospitality industry over the past decade and more. But we see other markets rebounding quite aggressively. I mean, we see the market of India, for example, with almost 150 million middle class that they are interested to travel around the world. So it looks like the demand is there, and it looks like the investment is coming back. We see a lot of focus into conversion of existing buildings because obviously the capital needed is considerably low compared to starting a greenfield project. But I think that the message here is quite positive when it comes to the hospitality industry, because very simply the demand is there, and it looks that the travel and leisure industry is among the top priorities of the people out there.
Thank you, Vasilis. Frank, I'll move to you. You have a wide experience in the national landscape. You are here, what, more than 20 years around, 15 years? Accor, it's, 20 years since they started. How you perceive the shift of type of investors from high net worth individuals up to now we see the investment funds? Where are we today?
Good morning also from me. If I look at the market today, and we had a lot of general economics previously, if I talk a little bit about the hospitality industry, I can say that, our chairman of the company always say that we're in a blessed industry, and we are truly in a blessed industry. If you see the pattern we've gone through in the last 5-6 years, we are stronger than ever. And today, I can say that in terms of real estate asset classes, we are probably the leader and gaining most interest from many funds and from many investors who would not look at this industry 5-6 years ago. Another trend which we can really see is, you had this, before COVID and some years ago, you had this trend to online booking travel agencies. We see a clear shift back to direct bookings, which is very, very important for investors, for owners, and for owners. If you look in 2019, 32% of the entire bookings worldwide were done by through OTAs. Today, we are back to 25%. And if you look at the last Skift study, only come out a few days ago, the direct bookings are looking to overtake the indirect bookings, what we call the OTA bookings, in 28 or 29. That means that hotel owners, operators, we are getting, again, much more control of our business, which is very important. And then, I speak to many owners and managers and so on, and I see two other trends which are really driving that and which are really important, because the question we get is, how can you drive top line and how can you improve the results with increasing costs? And we see two things very, very important. One is loyalty. Loyalty is becoming a driver for business, because loyal customers, they are not looking for rates, they are looking for experiences. Experiences in your hotels, but also, for instance, how can I get a Taylor Swift ticket when everything is sold? And these are super valuable customers. And for us and for the industry, it becomes a truly driver of value, and also for owners. And then secondly, and that's the opposite side, one is very human side, loyalty. The opposite side is that I think the industry, and we don't use it enough, we have super AE-based revenue management systems, which we are pushing also very hard in Romania, and there is a gain to make for every owner also in Romania. And the combination of all these new direct bookings, tools, systems, loyalty, it's a tremendous opportunity for us as a network, obviously, but also for the owners and the investors. And these are really points which we are working very hard on at the moment.
Yeah. That's right from my point of view, but I've seen that Gilles is having a little bit of tough time here. Gilles, you are implementing CRSs, you have a lot of data intelligence gathered. How you perceive the market, let's say Southeastern Europe, and if you have data to share about Romania, and then I'll ask you what's your point of view to the Frank's point with the distribution direct versus third parties.
So thank you for inviting us. We belong to the same company. That's a disclaimer for all of you. My company, DH, is serving independent hotels worldwide.
But still, you can agree to disagree.
I know. I agree to agree on some of the points. The first thing is, yes, direct booking was even higher during COVID. Now its distribution is trying to cope with that. And that's something that you need as hotelier and investors need to invest in. There's technology to sustain the fact that you can continue to go direct and master your business. That's really important. Whether you want to become a chain, and you want to belong to a chain, or you want to be independent, that's where we will disagree. My point is much more going in the independent way. I believe that in Romania, the level of the hospitality is high. This is from a French company saying that I'm very amazed of the level of what I'm finding in Romania, so continue doing this. And people want to have experiences, but they want to have local experiences. So basically, as a guest, I prefer to go for a local brand. Sorry, Prime Minister. But I would prefer to have a local experience rather than an experience from outside. So back to the trends is we see distribution coming big way also back after COVID. So hoteliers don't invest enough into technology so that they can really master that distribution. You need to master the distribution. I have some figures we can look at. In Romania, it's better than in other parts of Europe. In Europe, it's 29.5% direct business. In Romania, it's a little higher. More business coming from direct bookings, so you should invest in that. And the future is brighter, I think, on the independent side.
Thank you. Charles, you have experience, you come from operations. How the brands can provide local experience?
Thank you, Tinu. And first, we are new in the market, and maybe that's why, Tinu, you are not used to have Hyatt on stage, but that
Takuya is not new in the market. I know him since ages. So.
We are new in the market, and I'd like to thank Aeropalace for that, because soon we will have our first Hyatt Regency in Brasov, and that should open in the end of next year, sorry. Happy to be here today. Thank you, Ray, for inviting me. I think this is a great initiative, and really believe in the Romanian market, and in many aspects. The first one is regarding the potential in mid-scale, upscale, but also luxury and premium, to answer the question regarding the former Prime Minister. When it comes to operations, the way we approach the brand today is starting to change because of the new reality, because of the cost of the construction, because of the cost of the money. And I'll share with you an example of what we did in the US, and that is coming right now in the EMEA region. We recently created a new brand. It's called Hyatt Studios, that's been launched in the US. And the way we approach this brand for the first time ever, we decided completely to change the design thinking, and we decided for this brand to involve investors, operators, construction companies, consumer groups, housekeepers, to really define and align on the performance index, key performance index, which were RevPAR, GoPAR, guest experience, and cost to build the room and the property itself. And by doing all of that, we align on cost of investment, but as well in terms of profitability on the long term. And moving on to the EMEA region, we recently acquired a new brand called Me and All, that is really positioning on the lifestyle upper mid-scale market, which we think will fit perfectly to the Romanian market, where this market needs obviously some change in order to relaunch the tourism within the country. And we also believe in the network effect, having Hyatt Regency on one side, having upper mid-scale brand on the other side, and luxury brand also. So the way we approach operations is really working through all the different spectrum of the brand to really leverage everything that is possible to improve the operations.
Thank you. Romania started the first decade after the revolution with a type of mixed ownership between the former employees. It was a program called MEBO. That was the early times. Then we've seen the high net worth individuals coming to invest more for their ego or pleasure. Now we see a movement to a more mature market, and we have Răzvan here. They're representing an investment fund which is quite active, more than 5,000 rooms already in their management. Răzvan, why you selected Hyatt? What were the key performance indicators that Charles is speaking about that you were looking up when you selected Hyatt as a brand versus others?
Hello. First of all, I want to thank you for the invitation. And yes, I think we have around 5,000 rooms that we use, and we have a portfolio that reflect our commitment for increase the Romania potential. And we select Hyatt because what Mr. Ponta says, his friends, he don't find the hotels to stay in Romania. So we need a brand because we want to attract some international investors. We need to increase our facilities, and also we need to do some investors in the hotels to make them look better, and to have something like consolidation of our portfolio. Because if we look at Romania, tourist sectors has undergone significant transformation in the post-COVID, and this evolution something aligns close with our investment strategy and portfolio. The 2024 to 2028 strategy of Transilvania Investments established the new business line, namely the travel and leisure, real estate, active trading, and private equity. And in terms of travel and leisure, we are focusing on changing, consolidating the management and the business models for the sub-portfolio of company operating in the tourism sector. In order to increase the performance of the companies from this sector, we also considering to contracting significant contracts with specialized person from the tourist sector, with some operating. We choose also operating for international brands. Tourism is one of the strategic line of our business. Is one of the strategic line of business for Transilvania Investments. We have a strong legacy in supporting Romania's travel and leisure sectors, with a portfolio that reflects our commitment to unlocking the country's potential, tourist potential. We own and manage iconic properties such as hotels in the Black Sea area. We have spa facilities and balneo at Turist Felix, Băile Felix, Băile Tușnad, Covasna, and we have also city hotels, Brașov, Aropalace, and Ploiești.
Thank you, Răzvan. It's good to see that the Romanian investment funds, they are investing in hospitality. And I want to tackle a little bit the subject to see what you all can bring towards the investors. We've seen that Răzvan was attracted by the brand for predictability, maybe goodwill for them in order to attract investments. What Windham is bringing to the investors?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I will try to connect with everything that we have been hearing, even from the previous panel. I mean, an international hotel brand, I think it's a window to the world, and we have been in Romania for almost 20 years now. It has been quite a domestic market in the initial stages. I think that with the assistance and the support of the international branch, we are going to be able to open Romania and the many things that it has to offer to the international clientele. To Frank's point below, loyalty programs, I mean, we are talking about accessing millions of loyalty members across the international branch that we can definitely promote you know, all the good things that that Romania has to offer. I was yesterday in the city of Craiova. I mean, I was amazed by the Christmas market there. It is something that, again, I know that it is promoted in the neighboring countries, and we can see many tourists coming over for leisure purposes in order to visit the Christmas market. But it is something that we were discussing with the local business stakeholders of how we can use our marketing powerhouse in order to promote Craiova, so the destination, and then subsequently our hotels in the region. So basically, I mean, this is how I would like to see all the international brands. I mean, over the years, definitely we have a hotel stock here in Romania. I think that the hotels, they have been concentrated quite into the domestic market. Look at the Black Sea coast. I mean, it has been predominantly dominated by Romanian tourists visiting. The rest of the Black Sea coast, I mean, Bulgaria, on the other side, even Georgia, you know, they are international destinations. So I think that the international brands, this is what they can offer to Romania, to the hotels, a window to the world.
It's right, and this will set up the stage for our next topic, which will be what are the opportunities in the future. I want to present you just 2 slides that we prepare for the audience in order to see where Romania is standing today. So here you see the ranking of international brands in Romania. You have the ranking is dominated by Accor and Wyndham with almost 50% of the branded hotel in Romania. But if you look to the total, you will see that just 72 hotels are branded in Romania. From a total, it represents 4% of the number of hotels that are branded, so it's a long way to go. You have a lot of market to develop here. And if you look in terms of rooms, just 9% of the rooms are branded, and this is just hotel without hostels and all the others. So it's a lot of room to grow, and I will come back here to Frank and Gilles because I like their fight about branded versus non-branded, so I want to pick up on you. So I will start with Gilles. Unbranded, so you have 96%.
I love that.
Yeah, you love
I'm happy.
But not money-wise because you get more commissions.
No, well, actually, it's a friendliest fight, of course. At the end of the day. No. Why am I happy? Because I also intervene in other countries all around Europe, and I see that in Europe, it's basically independence lead the way. I'll take France as an example. A lot of independent hotels, a lot of very strong groups, very strong chains, local chains. And so I'm very happy to see that still it's good. But there is one thing that people need to be aware of is the elephant in the room right here is the distribution that we did not talk too much about. Distribution, and you shared some of the figures before, it's distribution is taking between 18 and 22% of...
Which is huge. Because
huge.
Theoretically, if you take the revenues of the hotel, from top up 20% should be actually the profit of the property.
Absolutely.
So distribution is a little bit greedy in the last years.
It is. So that's the reason why independent hotels and all the investors in the room need to invest and to make sure that they control basically the distribution. If they don't control the distribution...
Control, you said a great word. I think it should be a great debate in our industry. Who is owning the inventory today? Because for sure it's not the investor or the owner. Not anymore the brand, since the fall of the GDSs. So
absolutely.
Probably the distribution, without skin in the game, without investment, without operations, they are owning the inventory. And I think this is something that will shift someday. What is your opinion on this?
It will shift, but only if the investors here in the room understand that they need to invest in technology. All the loyalty systems, they can build them. If it's a local brand, they can build it. All the basically guest experience tools, they can own them. They can create those. All of those are accessible now for them to be used. But if they don't do it, then the distribution will do, and it will take a big chunk. You said also of the rooms, but who owns the client? For some of the distributors, many of them, it's not the hotels anymore. There is a big trend that we saw in France and in other countries that we operate in. We operate in 157 countries and 17,000 hotels for the Edge. The idea basically is what we saw is no one was really taking care of the technology, I'd say 10 years ago. And so all the distribution, the Priceline, the bookings, the Expedia of this world, basically they took over the clients. Instead of the brands, instead of the operators, and they now manage it. It's their clients, not the hotels anymore. And so there was a big problem, notably in France, where basically the emails of the clients were not owned anymore by the hotels. And so they had to take over and find ways of getting possession again of their own clients. So that's a huge topic that needs to be addressed apart from the branding and all that. That's really, really something that people need to be aware of.
Thank you. Frank, you see that the brands will fight back, the third party?
I think the shift of ownership of customers is happening much quicker than what we expect. I think the decision of the European Court on September 19th, which takes away parity, it's a massive decision, and I think it's a truly game changer also for companies like ours. And companies like ours, what I can see is, with my team, we do 22 countries, of which one is Romania. We have an acceleration of development which we have never seen, and 80% of that acceleration of development is existing hotels who want the technology, who want the loyalty, but also want the brand bonus. The brand bonus, which, quite frankly, is getting more and more important because of all the tools behind the brand. And all these elements, they really help, because you know what's today important, that you can drive top line, and that you control distribution cost, because that will improve your profitability. Your general cost will not go down. And I think today, the demand for that is more than ever. And this is really the solutions what we bring. And then, you know, we had the panel about hotel development in Romania. I have actually very good news on two aspects, basically. Today in Romania, and this is really different from 5 years ago, most of the development 5 years ago would be with individuals, high-end individuals. Today we are talking to all the big real estate investors in Romania. Owners who would 5 years ago only look at shopping centers, only looking at offices, they're talking to us and all my competitors today, which is a real shift. And this will bring back big brands. And a very good example is the Mondrian, which we signed with One United. It will be a really game changer in the hospitality in Bucharest. And a real example that the big players are really considering our asset class as very, very important.
That's an important point, because it brings me back of the shift in the type of investors. Aside from investment funds, you see developers like One, which they started to invest in hotels, which is, I think, good news for the industry. Coming back to the distribution, I will ask Charles, do you see a change in the spending behavior of the customers?
So when it comes to distribution, obviously, I'm a strong believer that the brand is critical for many reasons. First, brand brings guarantee in terms of guest experience. And we are strong believers that guest experience is the foundation of commercial and financial success. And what the brand brings on the table is systems to control and manage the inventory, balance out also the business coming from OTAs. It's still part of the business mix of a hotel. But once you have the right brand, then you manage your inventory, you control your inventory, you manage your rate, but also brand brings loyalty members. And that's also how to create loyalty around your property and promoting your destination. But the brand also brings support in terms of operations. In Hyatt, we provide also operational tools to change the way you operate your property. We are supporting, training the operational teams to improve the way they deliver the experience. So the brand is coming like a package. It's not only the top line, it's also driving efficiency in order to generate profit. So definitely, especially when you enter into a new market, the brand brings additional value to your property, to your destination.
Yeah, that's right. Razvan, coming back to you as an investor, you choose this asset class to invest, and I think you are one of the few which you invest both in business, in leisure, but also in wellness center. Romania, 30 years ago, used to have more than 2,000 wellness resorts, which they fall apart in 1 decade because of mismanagement or lack of investment. Now we see that you are investing in this. How you perceive the opportunity from business, leisure, or wellness? Where you put your money?
Yes, we look at Romania's travel and leisure real estate, to say, as a market that presents unique characteristic compared to the mature markets, because in Romania we have an emerging economy. So at Transylvania Investment, we are proud to be a leading player in shaping the futures of these sectors, leveraging opportunities to aim with our portfolio. Our recent milestone is one is with Hyatt in transformation with Hotel Aro Palace, where we want to transform in Hyatt Regency hotels. And at the same time, we want to revamp the historical building, which is currently not functional, and we want to invest to restore the building and to have a hotel. At the same time, also in Bucharest, in Brașov, Capitol Hotel, also owned by Aro Palace, will become Hotel Mercure City Center, Brașov. In
It's
July,
official, Frank? Or he disclosed it
yes.
before?
No, it's official. And in July of this year, Turin's Felix signed a letter of intent to enter on the final step of negotiation with 2 international chains, global leaders in the industry, for the affiliation of 3 hotels that's managed by Turin's Felix, International, Nufaru, and Thermal. So we look at some international brands, because Romanian travel and leisure market sector offer distinct opportunities for buyers, sellers, and developers. As emerging market, presents higher risk, but also unmatched growth potential for investors. So
Thank you. Please, Frank.
I think it's very important point. You know, in our sector, you have city hotels, you have resorts, seaside resorts, but the sector, the niche in our business, which today is the strongest, is the wellness, spa and wellness. So, and I see many countries, I see it in the Czech Republic, in Serbia, in Bulgaria, in many of the countries, really super properties emerging in spa and wellness resorts, and it's working, and I think it's a tremendous opportunity for your company, but also for Romania, because there is but you need international recognized brands and very good facilities.
Are the brands prepared for wellness and spa?
We have lots of, and we have a specific division in the both in development and in operations and sales and marketing, who only does this in Europe, and it works. It's a tremendous opportunity also for Romania, but we need to invest in infrastructure.
Yeah. Vasilis Windham has been the leader in the market for many years here, and he was penetrating the market with the franchise model. Do you see any shift in this traditional model that was, let's say, embraced by the investors here towards management?
Yeah, I mean, the truth of the matter is that we have been, we as Wyndham Hotel and Resorts, 99% of our business is based on the franchise model internationally. In certain destinations, we have selected specific partners. It has to do with a partner. It has to do with how you are dealing with a partner and how you are trying to envision the future of the hotel. And yes, we have been involved in management of hotels in certain parts of the world. I think in order to tap the dynamic of the market, the franchise model will continue to be the spearhead of our development. But at the same time, yes, we are looking in certain occasions for different models in order to support our growth. Again, taking the opportunity from the discussions in the panel, I think that we need to look at alternative accommodation models as well. Frank was mentioning about the spa and wellness. We see a lot of interest, not necessarily only here in Romania, but in other parts of the EMEA, with regards to, for example, youth hostels. I mean, kind of an upgraded product on the youth hostels. Obviously, the residencies, branded residencies in certain countries, it's already happening, and it is really differentiating the model and the product of the specific countries and how they can reach again international audience for their residencies. Silver housing, silver accommodation. So I think that over the next few years, we are going to be seeing many different segments within the hospitality that they are going to be coming under the branded umbrella. And I think that it is a great opportunity for Romania as well, based on the existing stock of real estate, to see alternative models of developing a real estate project.
Yeah, actually in Romania it was in the last 7-8 years, especially after the financial crisis, a burst in these lodges, mom and pops. So we've seen this from 4 rooms up to, 20 rooms. Only in the Bran area, because of the castle, you speak about probably 1,500 units like this, which they are out of the statistic generally, out of the evaluation. And I'll come back to Gilles. Are you able to service this guy with proper technology?
Sure, we do. The idea, it's all those models with apartment hotels. We serve actually the biggest apartment hotel group in France, 128 properties.
What you bring to them, because probably they don't have the money to buy an opera system or proper CRS. So what is your solution for them?
They have their own PMS, which could be anything in the market. Could be an opera, could be something else. What we do is we bring the other layers. Basically, we have 11 products, so we can do everything from generating traffic up to loyalty. So there are products that they can pick up and choose. The idea, I think it's back to the conversation about branded, non-branded. I think it's not a one-size-fits-all. If I take, for example, some of our clients, Continental, they just want to go independent. If I take some other people in the room, or let's say the guest here, our host here, Anna Hotels, they have branded and non-branded. I think you can take both of those worlds. So back to your question, yeah, there are new, basically trends coming up. Hostels are quite big. Apartments, buildings are very big. And so, to answer your question, what do we bring them the technology that allows them to service the customer, create loyalty, have a wonderful experience, but it's going to be self-branded. So they can put the name of their company and the name of their hotel and create a wonderful experience that is tailored to their image. And I really believe in this for all the markets. Is people want to have experiences, as you rightfully said, but they want to have true experience. As a French, I prefer to go to a Romanian hotel because I want to eat Romanian. I don't want to eat continental breakfast. I want to have Romanian food. I want to have the Romanian experience. For me, as a guest, and I still want to have all the technology. I still want to be able to book it on Booking.com and then go on the website that is a nice website of the hotel and see that there is a 20% discount, because if I go direct, thanks to the EU, I can do this. I can book it direct and it's less expensive. So as a guest, I see it on Booking because Booking is the biggest brand of all currently for guests. I see it on Booking, then I go on the website and then I just find out, oh, that's a nice brand, I didn't know about it. And then I'm going to book it direct and pay 20% less as a guest. And then I'm going to get a local experience. And I'm going to receive the pre-check-in emails. I'm going to see a lot of things. And that's what I believe guests want from leisure. Spa hotels are exactly doing this. And also for city hotels.
I'm with you here, and I think it will be a shift somewhere in the future. I remember when the digital distribution started, early times, if you remember Octopus and the pioneers, you know, there were a couple of percentage there, 2-3%. Now we came to 20%, so something, I think it will change here. Now for our last 10 minutes, I want to come back to the investors and say that in order for them to invest, they should be provided with as accurate forecast as we can do for them. We have here Russell Cat. I started in my early times with the HVS valuation model, but it's all about the input, what the data you are inputting. So marketing becomes critical, and I know that Hyatt has a new approach towards valuation and forecasting for the investors. Can you tell us about it?
So new approach, I'm sure that would be more a question for our feasibility department. But as I said earlier, the way we approach forecast is, and I think the way we enter into the Romanian market through a franchise model. This is what we believe in terms of forecasting, projecting, is really working with local partners, operators that know the market, combining with what we can bring on the table as a brand with the loyalty program. Our loyalty members pay more, stay longer, and book direct. So, you know, having those data in mind, plus the local knowledge from the operators, this is how we are projecting and working closely with HVS, Deloitte, and others, and our internal feasibility department.
Are the Vasilis, the 10-year cash flow forecast obsolete now? We don't know what is happening tomorrow, so.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, we are living in a very unstable environment. I think that we can only forecast for the next quarter, and if. But definitely, you know, you need the planning. When you are in discussions with investors, obviously, you need to lay out your plan. But definitely, you need to be aware that you need to revisit the plan on a daily basis. In some cases, based on all of the flow of the news that we are receiving every day. Independent of that, I mean, I will still be quite optimistic about the future of the travel and leisure industry. I think that we have demonstrated our resilience during the pandemic times or after the pandemic times, and we have rebounded quite fast. And as I mentioned before, travel and leisure is among the top priorities now of most of the households. And it is evident, and we are experiencing this in most of the destinations. And I'm quite bullish about all the new markets that they are coming in. We see certain travel trends changing. Again, mentioned before about India, about China, and how they are going to be rebounding. Latin America, I mean, especially for Europe and for Wyndham, we are trying to find, to expand our distribution reach to these countries and bring them over to Europe. Obviously, flights, the planes, follow the planes. This is our mantra. So wherever the planes fly, this is where we wanna be. It looks like there is some sort of a democratization when it comes to the flights and to the flight schedules. So we see more and more secondary destinations as well coming in, and we see the interest from our guests for exploring secondary destinations. Yes, Paris, Rome, London, they are still going to be, prominent. However, we see that secondary destinations, they are coming up, and it has to do with the proximity that the flights are offering.
Yeah, flights are cheap, hotels are expensive. We start to see a lot of reaction for the big cities in Europe against mass tourism. So this could be a problem. Frank, you are more orientated here towards management, and I want to ask you the following question. I've seen over the years the management contract, they were quite biased towards the brand because the brand had a lot of power of negotiations until, we had this distribution, third parties appearing on the market. So I've seen lately that new models or new terms appearing in these contracts. You started with lease contracts also, but I've seen also guaranteed GOPs. You think that the contracts will move more towards the owner interest?
If the owner interest is not covered, I'm not sure that any owner would sign. Apart from luxury and ultra luxury and some lifestyle brands, we also firmly moving towards franchise. What we just need to make sure that locally there is enough expertise to run the hotels, that there is enough white label management companies, and there is enough...
Which we are lacking a lot in the country.
Which I think it's really a great opportunity. But I want to say one word about the business plan, because a business plan, it's a business plan, and once you have written a business plan, one thing you are sure that it's wrong. But what is very much more important and what we spend a lot of time on in Romania, both in new projects and in conversions, is to make sure that the investment match what the destination and the location can bring for the investor. I was in the north of Romania yesterday. We reduced the project by 30%. Because that's what needs to be done to make a profitable project. When we look at the conversion and the investor wants to redo everything, say, wait, what upside can we bring and what do we need to change to bring this upside? And I think that is a real added value what we can bring to make sure, and this is as important as the business plan, to make sure that your project, in where you are, in what is the potential, that the project match with this potential, and that's as important as the business plan.
Yeah, and a lot of things that are affecting those forecasts. Gilles, how Airbnb is affecting the hotels? Sorry. How the Airbnb concept is affecting the
Well,
hotel?
it's bringing new customers.
Bringing new customers, or is taking market shares from the traditional hotels?
It's bringing new customers. Basically, people younger than some people in the room. They book only Airbnb. They don't know anything about the brands. They just want to book Airbnbs.
Is because they're just price sensitive, or are there other?
No, it's just the way they book. Because in many different cases, booking is not an experience on many different websites or on many different booking engines that are way behind. I looked at some of the seaside here in Romania, and the experience, sorry to say if I have a lot of people that are not going to like me today, but the experience of booking is just nowhere. It should be different. So what are going to do European bookers they're just going to look at the booking engine. They're going to say, but how do I book? It's not talking to me in the right language, and I don't have the means of payments I need. And then they're going to go to Airbnb because Airbnb provides everything. And it's a shame because basically they would like to book direct, but they cannot. And so, yes, I see Airbnbs, I see distribution, basically, and Instagrammers and people that are discovering Romania for what it is, which is a great country, very underrated, if I may say. I'm still amazed. And yes, your Airbnbs, when they're going to be big, they're going to bring you a lot of new customers. Because those people, those younger people, the younger generation, they're going to book on the Airbnbs, whatever happens, if you don't provide them a means to book direct.
I think this is an interesting input. So we hoteliers, and this we should learn from the Airbnb in terms of make a hassle-free experience for the guest. I remember we have here the Ruud Royland and Yeti from EHL. More than 15 years ago, we're doing a study case on the Howard Johnson, and we're discussing this hassle-free because already then the technology was there in order to be able to go directly into the room, not to press the reception and wait 10, 15 minutes. How are you? How is your travel? Can I make a copy of your passport?
Yeah.
So we can skip this line, but yet it's not there. So the industry, like we used to say, you know, we clean up a room in 30 minutes 50 years ago, now we clean it in half an hour. It didn't evolve as the market evolved. So this can be a critical point for the brands to do a hassle-free environment for the client and make it easy because the technology is there. You can have my
Absolutely.
data, I can go directly into the room, I don't need to check in, I don't need to check
Yeah.
out. I
There is
just need
no
a
need for
concierge
check-in.
in order, you know, to recommend me a restaurant, and that should be all.
There is no need for a check-in, sorry, for all the hoteliers in the room.
Yeah, it's obsolete, right?
Completely obsolete, doesn't mean anything, it's not worth it, it's waste of time, people waiting in line for nothing. You can send them an email, you know, one day prior and get their passport. And so the person comes in, and even if you have a phone, you can open the door. It works, it's there. In Spa, it should be the norm. And I would believe that in Romania, hotels have the ability to just go for that, and people will start be amazed as, wow, oh, at least this country has understood that there was something to do, and it's not so much about, sorry, a brand or something like that. It's because I go to Romania, those guys, they know what they do. I can book in my own language, I can pay with my Google Pay or Apple Pay account, I received an email before, there are nice people, I can book my spa treatments in advance and pay my own currency.
You can even have your preferred amenities in the room already.
Yeah,
so
I mean, this is
personalizing your trip.
Yeah, this should be the norm. And I think also for Romania, and in the seaside, for instance, this is something that is completely approachable. And also, one last thing is, still, this is used to book. A telephone is still used to book. And if I'm calling as a foreigner, I'm calling a hotel in Romania, how is this going to handle? Will I receive a link to basically pay my own currency currently? No, that's not the case. People will talk to me very nicely, but then they're going to send me an email in the language I don't understand, and then I'm not going to book, so then I'm going to go to the distribution. This is what I'm going to do. So yes, there are a lot of things that can be done, that should be done, and
Yeah, technology is there and should be implemented.
Absolutely.
Gentlemen, as we are on the Swiss time here and we are ending, please take a last phrase, and each of you, and tell what you recommend and why you recommend Romania to investors in the hospitality business. You can start.
So quick one regarding Airbnb. I think they were the outsider 10 years ago, and thanks to them, because that forced us to reinvent. That's why the brand are so focusing on lifestyle, experience, being connected to the local neighborhood. And this is what Hyatt is doing, really focusing on providing value with the technology, at the same time connecting with the local neighborhood and providing different
A message
experience.
for the investors?
Investors, You know, I will have a booth outside, so feel free to come to see me. I will be very happy to discuss future projects.
Yeah, a Q&A session can be done to the breakout session afterwards, so I invite you to join the breakout session and meet this gentleman. Răzvan, pe scurt, pentru investitori?
Yes, Romania's travel and leisure markets offer unique opportunities for investment in Romania. I think we have the opportunities, and it's a market in which we can invest, and we need also other investors in this domain.
Frank?
I think there's tremendous opportunities. We're in the right industry, and I think what the only thing which really holding us back is liquidity in the market. There's not. If we could have more transactions, we could really speed up a more diverse investor base, which would also very much benefit the current investors. And I think bringing in new investors and come to a position where we can create more liquidity in the market would really be beneficial to all of us.
Vasilis, you open it, you close it.
Yes, I'm closing, and I can already see that we are past the time. So, promoting Romania, promoting all the great things that it has to offer, seaside, spa, wellness, many different opportunities for the investor in this country. Along with the brands, we can open the window to the world, a safe environment for the next quarter. So I think that the opportunities are all here. Again, and as I mentioned before, alternative accommodation segment as well. It needs to be explored. So yeah, quite optimistic about Romania. Over the last year, I have seen the dynamic changing completely when it comes to investment. So things to happen. Looking forward.
Thank you all, gentlemen. A
Thank
big
you.
round of applause. It was great.